Welcome back to another session of Rewire Your Nervous System. This is a series we've created for not just movement, not just meditation, not just breathing practices, but more to come back to senses, to come back to your senses, to come back to the ability that all human beings have to sense the world, and maybe an ability that we have somehow lost or gotten disconnected from. So the invitation today, especially today in this beautiful morning, or if you are doing it during the night, is to observe yourself rather than trying to put names to the feelings you're having, to the thoughts that are running through your head, and to maybe embrace yourself, embrace who you are beyond the ideas of what you've been told you are. And knowing that these days are of celebration, of rituals, which we don't know if we still do them with the reverence that they require, because they are older than us. So maybe the invitation is to observe yourself rather to try to observe others and what they're doing, and allow yourself to just be what you're feeling and in your feelings. And after that, come back home, come back to your home, to your center, knowing that this is a process and we're trying to just walk together. So go ahead and find a comfortable sit, one where you feel that your sitting bones are heavy on the ground and that you can feel your spine is tall, lifted, giving a little bit of space between your pelvis, the front of your pelvis, and your belly. So creating more space between your rib cage and your hips, and softening your shoulders. And close your eyes if you're not there yet. Settle back into your breath. And breathe through your nostrils, but imagine that your breath is coming from a deeper place behind the bones of your face. Even that you're dragging your breath from a place underneath your heart. But it's not just air as we think of it. Imagine the air as a thick liquid. So there's a resistance as you take a deep inhale through your nostrils. And imagine it's going down into the ocean of your pelvis, expanding outwards in all directions. And even as you exhale, try to keep a little bit of that inflation, a little bit of that expansiveness, instead of just letting it go completely. And soften your eyes back. Imagine your eyes are being dragged back deeper inside of your skull. Soften your throat back. So also imagine that your throat, the tissues in front of your throat, are being vacuumed back towards the back of your neck. Soften your shoulders. And begin to connect with the inner fountain. So imagine a inner fountain running through the inseam of your legs and through the river of your spine, all the way up into the cave of your skull. And as you exhale, imagine that fountain is water falling the edges of your skin. Take a slow, deep inhale through the inner fountain. Follow it up through the river of your spine, all the way up into the cave of your skull, and hold the air. Even as you hold, drink a little bit more through your nose, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and keep the hold. But even as you hold, soften your shoulders, your neck. Take one more sip of breath. Hold it at the top for a few seconds and exhale all out. Return to a natural breath, noticing the sensations. And do it one more time. Take a slow, deep inhale. Imagine it's coming from deep waters through your roots, through the river of your spine, up into the cave of your skull, and hold the air. Sip a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and hold. Imagine that the energy of your breath is expanding in the cave of your skull. Take one more sip. Exhale all out. Breathe. And keeping that sense of depth, bring your right hand to your left collarbone, and imagine this is the first time you're touching that space, so the space behind your collarbone, exploring the valley behind it, letting your fingers be soft at first. And then begin to sink in deeper into that space. So imagine you're not just touching skin, but something deeper underneath it. And then with a heavy hand, 5 times there, 5 hits. And bring your hand down to your thigh. Breathe. Now with your left hand, come up to your right collarbone. Let that meeting happen as if it was the first time. An encounter between the tissues of your fingertips and the valley behind the collarbone. And sinking deeper. And even as you do this, continue breathing deeply to the sides of your pelvis, so keeping your spine long, creating space between rib cage and hips. With a heavy hand, 5 echoing taps. Bring your left hand down and breathe. Both hands at the same time underneath the earlobes and behind the corner of your jaw. Find a little bit of a cave. So a cave in front of the thick muscles coming down the sides of your neck. Sinking deeper. And you can explore your neck a little bit below, or go back to that cave underneath the earlobes and behind the corners of your jaw. And you can keep your hands here to tap, or you can cross your arms in front of your neck and 5 taps there, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Feel. Now bring your right hand right above your armpit, your left armpit, and between the tissues of your chest and the tissues of your shoulder. So there's a crevasse in between those. Let your fingers rub there first softly and then sink in deeper. And you can begin to rub up and down, or maybe even little circles into that space. And with a heavy hand 5 times there. A few seconds to breathe. Bring your left hand to your right shoulder, right chest. Soft rubbing at first. Sink in deeper. 5 echoing taps. Breathe. Now with both hands at the same time, keeping your wrists soft so you can feel the heaviness of your fingertips. Bring your fingertips to your sternum and begin to heavy tap on your sternum. Breathe deeply as if you were breathing through your fingertips, through the space between fingertips and sternum. And explore what happens if you begin to go down towards the edges of your rib cage, letting your rib cage expand a little bit. And then go down to the size of your obliques, the size of your belly, the front of your belly, maybe using the whole palm of your hands around the belly button, and then down to the front of your pelvis. A little bit heavier here, you can even tap your thighs, closer to your knees, the inseam of your thighs. And come back through the same path you got there. So through your belly, maybe explore the places where you feel like you need more air. Explore what happens tapping on those places. And come back through the edges of your rib cage, back to your sternum. Now begin to draw a line with one hand only towards your belly button. And when you get to the middle space between belly button and the end of your sternum, rub up and down or in circles. Soften your belly as much as you can. And then let your fingers sink in deeper into that space. With a heavy hand 5 times there. A few seconds to feel. Now your hip creases, so the edge between the top of your thighs and the front of your pelvis. So around your genital area. You can even come up a little bit closer to the hip bone. And sink in deeper. And 5 echoing taps. Now bring your legs in front of you, soles of the feet on the ground, and explore the edge of your calves, where your calves meet the cave underneath your knee. And sinking deeper into that cave. Both legs at the same time. You can do one at a time, and then the other, or the two at the same time. Maybe explore the hamstrings, moving those tissues underneath the thighs, and come back to the cave underneath the knee. And 5 times there. And as you transition to bringing the soles of the feet together, take some time to breathe. And with the soles of the feet together, begin to rub right underneath the ankle bone and in front of the Achilles tendon, so the inner ankles. Soft rubbing at first. Sinking deeper. And 5 times. Cross your legs. Find your comfortable sit. And breathe. Close your eyes. And connect with the echoes of your own touch. Now we're going to do a double breath. It will be a short double breath, 40 seconds. And then we'll do a hold. So soften back into your breath. And before doing the double breath, soften your shoulders as much as you can, letting the tension go. Maybe even move your shoulders a little bit. So imagine that movement is coming not from your shoulders only, but imagine it's being born at the center of your body, so at your heart. So imagine the fluids of your heart moving side to side. So imagine the blood in your heart moving to the right side, making it a little bit heavier and transferring that energy towards your right shoulder and then to the left side. Move from breath and from the center of your heart. Soft movement, a movement so soft that maybe only you can notice it. Continue breathing deeply. You can change the directions of the movement of your shoulders. So you might be drawing circles back, or maybe draw them forward. And begin to make that movement a little bit more expressive, but let it come from breath. So deep inhales. And lengthening your spine even as you do this. And if you want, maybe bring your arms up. Softly. Make it slow. Don't rush it. Soft hands, soft wrists. Now move your shoulders and your arms and your hands as you will. Letting the energy of your breath grow towards the tips of your fingers, towards even your legs. So you can even move your rib cage a little bit. Keep lengthening your spine, keep the low belly lifted. Grow taller. Maybe even tension your arms. Bring so much tension that it feels like you cannot move anymore, but keep moving from that depth, from that tension. Move against that tension. And progressively let it go. And slowly bring your hands and your arms down. Breathe here. Take a slow, deep inhale. And a heavy exhale. Preparing for the double breath, take a deep inhale. Exhale all out. And begin. 15 seconds more.
On your next exhale, empty all out and hold at the bottom. Even as you hold, begin to connect again with that movement of your heart side to side, with the movement of your shoulders. Keep holding if possible. Gauge the overwhelm. If it feels too overwhelming, come back to your natural breath. Let the expression of your shoulders be a little bit bigger. Now take a slow, deep inhale as you continue moving. Hold the breath at the top. Even as you hold, drink a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and hold. Keep the movement. It doesn't have to be huge. And if you want, bring your arms up. 15 seconds more. Go ahead and bring tension to your hands, to your arms. Move against that tension as if you were moving in a thick liquid. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a slow, deep inhale. Hold at the top and exhale all out. Bring your hands to your thighs. Come back to your natural breath. Soften back. Come to all fours, so hands and knees. Finding your baby hands, so you're not having your hand flat on the ground. Shifting the weight of your body side to side. Keep the low belly lifted. Begin to connect with the sitting bones as they pull back. Bend your elbows a little bit. Maybe rock forth and back. Now see where you have your hands. They're probably landing underneath the line of your shoulders. So now bring your hands a little bit further forward. So your hands are landing forward, further forward, beyond the line of your shoulders. And now see where your hands are. Place your elbows where they were. And your hips are probably up right now. So you're gonna slide your knees back so your hips are at the same level of your heart. And instead of just dropping your head here or keeping it way up, keep your eyes on the ground and lengthen the back of your skull. Keep breathing deeply here. Even find a little bit of internal rotation of your thighs here. So let your heels fall to the sides. Soften your legs. Soften the tension on your legs, on your shoulders. Lift your armpits a little bit so there's a hollowness underneath your armpits. And breathe deeply as you keep your belly lifted, your low belly lifted. And find a shake. 10 seconds more. You can slide your knees even further back if this feels too easy. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Come back to your all fours, placing your hands underneath your shoulders. Bringing your knees a little bit forward. Breathe here. And now walk your hands back. Fingertips on the ground. Walk slowly so your spine begins to go up towards the sky. Maybe bring your hands on your thighs. This is sliding. Bring your hands on your thighs. Or you can bring the horseshoe of your hands. So this horseshoe, you can bring it here, right around the bones of your hips. So inviting with these fingers, with the rest of the fingers, so the thumbs are on the back. And the rest of the fingers are inviting the front of the pelvis to close at the front. Keep the low belly lifted. Lengthen the spine towards the sky as you bounce here. Begin to imagine your knees as if they were dragon tongues, and if imagine your sitting bones as if they were dragon tails. I think I'm gonna get rid of this yoga mat and just be directly on the ground. Let's do that. So yeah, it's actually the wood here is really slippery, very humid. So find the sitting bones pulling back and your knees pushing into the ground. Imagine your knees are not only going into the ground, but they also want to come apart from each other, but you're not letting that happen. So you're stabilizing the outer edges of your hips. Keep the low belly lifted as you bounce here. Tucking your toes under. Bring your hands now in front of your chest. Lean forward a little bit. Now take a slow deep inhale and open the wings here. Fly. Keep your sitting bones pulling back even as you do this. So you're not just dropping your pelvis forward, you're keeping your sitting bones pulling back even as your heart goes up towards the sky. Exhale, lean forward. Bring your hands in front of your chest, soft hands. Deep inhale, open the wings and fly. Exhale, come back to leaning forward. Bring your hands in front of your chest. Keep your hands soft bouncing here. Low belly lifted. Take a slow, deep inhale. Open the wings. Heart towards the sky. Exhale, bring your hands in front of you on the ground. And go into your downward facing dog, but make that a slow movement as well. So it doesn't have to be just immediately going to downward facing dog, but wiggle into it. So shift the weight of your body side to side as you lift your knees off the ground. Pull the sitting bones back even here and bend your knees. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Pedal your feet. Breathe deeply. And now walk your feet forward towards your hands. And forward fold as you exhale. Take a few seconds here, keeping your knees bent, and imagine your sitting bones are being pulled up and back. So even grab them if you want to. Even grab your sitting bones. Maybe do a little bit of pulsing here as you grab your sitting bones up. And if you don't want to grab them, just find the bending of your knees and the pulling of your sitting bones up. On your next inhale, bring your arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, bring your arms by your side. Breathe here. And take your time to find yourself in your Tadasana. Maybe placing your hands, the palms of your hands, facing them forward, as if energy from the sun was coming through them. Lengthen your spine, find the internal rotation of your thighs, so you can even grab your thighs a little bit and invite them to rotate internally, spiraling inside of your pelvis. And begin to find a soft bounce here. Now create more space between your feet. So instead of keeping them width apart as wide as your hips, instead of keeping them as wide as your hips, keep them a little bit wider. So separate your feet a little bit more. And find the outer edges of your feet. So going from the outer edge of your right foot to the outer edge of your left foot. Even here, keep that internal rotation. So instead of going like this,
find an internal rotation of your thighs. So spiral your thighs inside of your pelvis, even here. And let your feet move. So you don't have to stay there like you're grasping the ground. Let them move and let it be like, imagine the soles of your feet like an octopus. So that octopus is exploring the ground. And begin to move your knees forward and your sitting bones back. So your sitting bones are pulling back and the knees are pulling forward. Keep the low belly lifted even here. And separate your feet even more. You can bring your hands to your thighs. You can invite your pelvis to close out the front a little bit as you bring your hands, the horseshoe of your hands, to the sides. Keep moving side to side. Maybe bring your hands and your arms in front of your chest, soft hands, and invite them to this dance, to this inner dance of your waters, of your rivers. Deep breath. Bring your arms up a little bit, so hollow your armpits. Finding a curious goddess, an exploring goddess, a dancing goddess. Maybe bring tension to your hands and your arms. And bring so much tension that it feels like you cannot move anymore, or like you're moving inside a very thick liquid. 10 seconds more. Begin to let the tension go softly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands in front of your pelvis. Invite it to close at the front. Keep the internal rotation as you bend forward and touch the ground with both hands, baby hands on the ground. Keep pulling the sitting bones back even here. So your sitting bones are pulling back even here. And you don't have to keep your legs straight. You can bend them here and even move side to side as we were doing before. So moving from the outer edge of your left foot to the outer edge of your right foot. And step back, downward facing dog. Pedal your feet under your downward facing dog. And slowly bring your heart forward a little bit, and then your knees to the ground. Breathe here. And find your comfortable sit. Move into your comfortable sit as graciously as you can, maybe even trying to keep your eyes closed. Keep breathing here. Settle back into your breath. Soften the muscles of your face. Keep the low belly a little bit lifted. Soften back. So imagine you're going deeper behind your eyes. Letting your breath guide you into the inner garden. Now begin to let your mouth slowly open. So imagine that your jaw is becoming so heavy that it begins to drop down. Continue breathing through your nostrils. And find a bigger opening of your mouth. Letting your jaw be so heavy that it's pulling all the tissues of your face down. And continue opening your mouth and go into a place where it feels like you cannot open it anymore. And go into a face that you would usually judge, but instead of doing that, observe it with a sense of embracing, a sense of exploration, of curiosity. And you can even open your eyes and look up. Maybe squint your eyes. Go as big as you want into that mythical face. And slowly begin to close it. Allow yourself a few seconds to notice the sensations in your mouth, in your throat. Breathe. Take a slow, deep inhale. And a heavy exhale. And again, deep inhale. Heavy exhale. Now coming back to your gratitude practice that we did a couple of days before this day. So you can check that back a couple of days or just do it today. Imagine that with your right hand, you're grabbing something that you're grateful for in the air, and you're bringing it to your heart, and you're knocking at the doors of your heart a couple of times or 3 times or more if you want. And again, something or someone you're grateful for, grab it, bring it to your heart, knock at the doors of your heart, and thank for that. And again, something that you're really grateful for, bring it to your heart, knock on your heart. Someone you're grateful for, it can be even yourself, knock on your heart. Let's do it one more time. Deep breath. Grab that someone, that something, bring it slowly to your heart with intention. Knock at the doors of your heart. And take one last deep inhale. And a heavy exhale. And when you're ready, let the dark meet the light. Let your eyes be opened. And keep some of this energy with you, even as you are invited into the celebrations, the rituals, and observe yourself. Keep observing yourself with that sense of coming back home, coming back to your senses, coming back to a deeper place inside of you that you know, that somehow you know, but maybe we have been disconnected from. And Allow yourself to be in deep presence with those around you, knowing that there's more stories to be built, more stories to connect with than what we've been told. Something deeper underneath the layers of what we know. Have a beautiful night or day, and come back to those rituals to come to your heart, to come home. Thank you.